Hello everyone, hope you're keeping well. Today's chapter is about chapter 33. One of my favorite one, by the way. It's called Living Self-Mastery, or basically personal development. It's a lot to unpack because I think this chapter is wonderful. Let me explain. So this self-mastery is basically meaning stop blaming others for you're incompetent or other things that happen to you. Because once you do that, you take all the power in the world. So most of us like to blame something or someone. Like if it's raining outside and you caught up in the rain because you forget the umbrella or look in the weather forecast, then you blame, oh, why should it now it's ruined my day already. But the rain is raining not only on yourself. Everywhere around you here is still raining. It is you, you know? So that's why we cannot give power over something or someone. Or someone said it's your fault. You're trying to blame someone and then you're trying to blame them back. Of course, we come ping pong about blaming games as well. And that's why if you also do that, that means you give the power to other people to control your emotion. So if someone, I like this kind of great example, is that when you were young, especially when in school, and then you walk by and then someone call your name, hey stupid, and you feel being hurt, then you turn around, then you are really stupid. Or if you walk by and someone behind you say, hey idiot, and you look back, then it's really you because that's how they call you, idiot. So don't even bother looking back. Don't even bother to reply. Because the people who want to pull you down are already below you. So you don't need to do anything. That's the reason why many people look up to those government or other people that are richer than them or anything, or maybe better grades or doing well, basically, in short, than they are. They are the one that always attack those that does well. I'm not saying not to, not totally not to do anything, but sometimes in life, most of the time, you don't need to reply. Mastering yourself is very important. Emotionally mastery, physically mastery also. Train your body, to be physically strong. Then you take care of your health. Then you can take care of your mind. Reading books is like food for the body. Reading books is like food for the mind. So you have to read and also study. Very important to do this level of mastery. Okay, so there's another line also that if you understand other, then you have knowledge. If you understand yourself, then you have basically, or himself is wisdom. It's also most like know your enemy and keep your enemy close, your friends close and your enemy closer. It's the same way of the other book is called the Sun Tzu approach, that you have to understand your enemy and also understand yourself. So mastering others requires force, mastering yourself needs strength. In order for me to understand you, I need to study myself. Why? Because we are from the same source, the nature. That's why I like about human nature, if you study human nature, is study yourself. Once you study yourself, then you also understand why that person behaved the way he or she does. It's a loophole, because he or she is also human. Then you understand why he or she react that way. So if you realize that you have enough, that you are truly also rich. So those people that always look at the numbers and also compare, always there's a saying that the grass of your neighbor is always greener. It's true. That's why people I highly recommend that if you know what you're worth, don't worry about if that person has been nominated Forbes 400 list that he's the richest person in the world or whatever. No, enriched in what? In what sense? Maybe because on paper, on the stock exchange, his shares price increases and that's why he become a billionaire or something. But then his other part of his life deteriorate. Maybe his family, his health, I don't know. So most important part is you understand what truly makes you rich, not only in monetary term, but also in friends, family, health, then you're already truly enough if you know how much is enough for you. So all in all, this self-mastery is very empowering, because here I just wrote here down also the inner strengths that empowers you to behave from the wisdom of the inherent Tao. So also, if you look at your social network or your friends and family or your work, when people, when they take over, if you blame them for because he or she, you tell them to do something at the office and he or she didn't do it, and you blame them, oh, why you didn't do it? It is your responsibility. The bus stop with you. Because if you're the boss or the employer and you delegate something for other people, you need to make sure that you are also being checked, that you don't blame your subordinates for doing wrong, because you're the one that gives the order, but maybe you give the order wrongly, or there's a miscommunication between you and the actor or the people that does the work. So you have to synergize with the people so that you don't blame them, but then you maybe help them to do the work, to complete the work. Okay, that is what a real leader does. It always leads from behind. That means that they always try to guide that person below them. All right, so you don't need approval of other or another possession in order to be happy. You are the only one, basic, to decide your own life. Focus on understanding yourself, like I said, just mentioned, instead of blaming others from your own fault. The Tao Te Ching is the same thing that said without blaming others, so the flow of the Tao. But very importantly is also don't blame yourself. Very important, because most of people say you have to blame yourself. No, what I mean is the blame doesn't exist at all. It doesn't. The funny part about because when you heard about why Jesus doesn't need to apologize or to forgive, because he had nothing to forgive. It's like a saint, right? And then people say, yeah, because he never forgives, so I don't need to forgive. No, it's because he never does something wrong, or she does not something wrong. So that's the reason why you have to understand the concept, the context as well. So why is there in the Holy Book never write about, hey, Jesus never forgive, so I don't forgive? No, it's because he never, did something that is not saint. Anyway, so don't blame yourself. Very important. Don't blame others, and cultivate your desire for others. Basically, to discover your own nature, and all of us has our own nature. Catch yourself when you say, I should do this, I should do that. Remind yourself to be quiet and send loving energy. Wow, very important. So what I mean about that is you don't also hate other people, like your exes, if you have more than one, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, or your ex-boss or whatever, ex-colleague. Don't hate them, love them. That's why the powerful saying goes that love your enemies doesn't literally mean love, meaning that you forgive them and you move on. You become more conscious. You don't go to the level where previously you went, but you go to the level that is even higher. That you go forgive them and you move on. Don't blame, don't complain, and don't justify. So all in all, if you find out that you see consciously initiate this is very important, that you can consciously forgive other people even though they're not in the presence of you. Maybe they died a long time ago, or maybe they're so far away in different countries or different cities or whatever, and you send love to them. Send love to all your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-boss, whatever that is ex. Then you have this peace of mind. And I know there was a powerful writer that also never ever know how to gain his writing skills, and then later he become, I forgot his name, also become very famous writer, is because he then forgive his past, what his father was doing to him. That he goes to his grave and he just forgive whatever has done to him when he was a kid. And then once you release that negative energy, your positive energy will come up and then will be replaced. So that's why I always ask people that it's not automatically to think positive, think positive, think positive. No. You have to empty your cup, empty your mind, especially what Bruce Lee also said, that you just empty the stuff that bothers you, you forgive them, you move on, so that you really empty your cup and not being controlled by other people. Even though you're being handcuffed anywhere, no one can control your mind if you don't let it. They will not control what you think about. They don't control your emotion, and then you'll be very peaceful, whatever happens, regardless. And once you have that kind of mindset, empty the negativity, like this one, empty the cup, the negativity. Take a sip. Then, I mean empty the cup, okay? Not empty in German. You know what I mean. So once you empty the cup, then you fill it also with something that inspires you, something that makes you grow, makes you positive, what we're trying to explain. So all in all, I think this chapter 33 is wonderful, and you are wonderful because you're listening to this 33. And let's go to chapter 34. But let me read from this book, as I like to close it always like this. He who knows others is clever. He who knows himself has discernment. He who overcomes others has force. He who overcomes himself is strong. He who knows contentment is rich. He who perseveres is a man of purpose. He who does not lose his station will endure. He who lives out his days has had a long life. Thank you so much and have a great day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe or just share this video with someone that you think might be of helpful. Have a nice day.